You're listening to Curl Talk Unfiltered.
with Tally and Cass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, podcast listeners. It's Cass, and we're in my bedroom today. I know I'm changing everything up on you guys, but I love filming outside. It's been really rainy and cold in Dallas, and the pollen count's been really up. And in the last episode, I truly felt like I sounded so nasally. I couldn't. I didn't even realize it sounded like that until I was editing, and I'm like, is this the voice I'm presenting to the world right now? So I've had 2 allergy pills and I'm indoors. Continuing to come on and listen to just me yap. I really appreciate you girls who are here. Today's topic I'm very interested in, and it's basically, are you giving yourself permission to change niches or adjust your business in that way? I wanted to talk about, it is wedding season. So you guys know Talia's wedding was 2 weeks ago, and I did Talia's hair for her wedding, which was very fun. And it just kind of reminded me, like, it's been a while since I went on location and done hair for a wedding. That was 2 weeks ago. Last Friday, I did wedding hair for one of my clients. So right now, I only do wedding hair for my own clients or people that I know. I do it curly, I do it straight, whatever they need. So for this particular client, she had decided to wear her hair iron curled instead of naturally wavy. We did a couple different trial runs for her natural hair versus, eventually we just ended up deciding, like, one day we were doing another trial. She was feeling a little bit like her hair felt thin or wispy on the ends. It can be really challenging to find extensions that match, curl patterns. And I was like, well, we could see about like iron curling your hair and see how that goes. So we did that, and we did a little half up, half down, and she loved it. And she felt like it, we're able to like brush it out and fluff it out and tease, and it just ended up looking a bit fuller. So she booked me for her wedding. It was 25 minutes from where I'm at. So I'm like, well, that makes it a lot easier, because currently right now, whenever I do curly brides, I have them come to the salon and I wash and style their curls, and then I do an updo for them. Obviously, not everyone wants to do that because they buy these venues and there's like all this beautiful space, and I've not yet totally conquered what to do in that scenario. I will conquer it next weekend because I have another wedding on Saturday, I believe. And I told her to shampoo and condition her hair that morning, come in with her hair still wet. I'm going to bring my water bottles and we're going to style her hair. I believe we're doing a half up, half down. So I'll style her curls, bring my diffuser and all of that, and then do the half up on location. So it'll be my first curly bride on location, which I'm really excited about. Back to the one I just did with the iron curls. She had asked if I could do everyone in her wedding. Like, she had 8 bridesmaids, 2 moms that wanted their hair done, and then herself. My best friend and I have done weddings a lot in the past together, so I asked her if she'd be interested, and she was. And so we went and we split up the girls. It was just, whoever sits in your chair, whoever's next, like, come get your hair done vibes. And I'm asking the question and pondering, are you giving yourself permission to change your niche? Because I'm a little inspired. Like, I'm not saying I'm about to become a wedding stylist, but I want to talk about the pros and the cons of it. And if you've never thought about doing it, maybe you'll think about doing it. We charge, I guess I'm going to get right into like the pricing of this. We charged $80 per bridesmaid and mother of the bride, $150 for the bride. If you guys don't know, that's pretty modest pricing at the moment. And then a $50 travel fee. So we drove separate there because right afterwards I came back and I did prom hair in the salon. So another girl came. I actually cut her hair, styled it curly, and then did a half up, half down for her as well. Like, I made $1,000, like barely picking up my shears that day. Like, that just felt crazy to me. I did 6 people at the wedding, and then I did my prom girl. So I did a lot, but also I did 6 people at the wedding in 3 hours. So really wasn't even a whole day, because so the total for the bride, like the total for the party ended up being $1,000 with the travel fee. One of my clients tipped me $50, and then also my bride tipped us $200, so I kept 100 of it. And then my last client, because she got a cut too. I mean, it probably should have been more than what I charged her because my curly cut price is 150, and then I did a half up, half down for her, but she's one of my favorite clients. She's a teenager. I was like, yeah, I'll put your hair in a half up, kind of like free of charge. And then obviously she tipped me. So it just ended up being that I made like so many dollars for something that was really fun. We got to go on location. I got to be with someone on their happiest day. It was a client I knew. I was not stressed at all. She had a great, we did multiple trials to make sure that she loved what she was getting and that, we were both really comfortable and confident in what she wanted. All of her girls, pretty much all of her girls, were just getting their hair curled, had the option of getting more things, and it was like encompassed in the price. If they want an updo, if they want half up, half down, if they just want curls, like all of that's included in the $80. So whatever they chose, I did a couple half ups, a couple just curls, and then my bride got a half up, half down and curls. It just inspired me that it was so fun. Again, I say this all the time, but it's like I've been doing hair for like 8 years and in cosmetology school for a year more than so like nine. And sometimes things can get really boring or like mundane. And that was a day that I was like, this was really fun. It felt really fulfilling. And I felt like I made a difference in a way. I think that's one thing I'm always looking for in my job is feeling like I make a difference. And that's one of the main reasons I started doing curly hair or it becoming my specialty once I learned how to do it was just because I felt like it made a difference in people's lives, and it does a little bit more than how I felt about trimming 2 inches off and some long layers on like a straight haircut person. I just felt like I made more of a difference in the natural hair space. And I also just felt the other day at these two people's really special days that, they were able to feel comfortable and confident. And they both reached out to me the next day saying how great their hair was, how it held up. My bride thanked us for coming and that we did amazing. And it's really nice feeling affirmed at that. I will say, if we're getting into the cons, sometimes you're like, is this going to stay? Is this going to hold? Like, I did everything I could. I did everything that I would do on myself in this instance. And, I hope that that lasts. And then also with my prom girl, I'm just like, I hope that this photographs well. I hope that she feels beautiful. My bride reached out and said that she loved it and that everybody looked amazing and thanked us for coming. And then my prom girl, she sent me like her Instagram post with her hair and she was like, it turned out perfect. Thank you so much. Like, these are things that they totally don't have to do. Feeling like above and beyond happy. So they sent me a text to let me know. And I'm like, that is just I have those warm, fuzzy feelings right now also. So I'm really thinking about maybe honing in on that a little bit more and doing some fun styling and maybe some styling shoots and things like that. Right now, I don't know how confident I feel doing any and everybody's weddings. Honestly, there have been people that have reached out and asked me about like wedding styling. Here's what is maybe a con of doing special occasions. It's like people know about these special occasions a year in advance. And if it's July 19th, a Saturday, you're not going on vacation in July 19th. And that's for next year. And it's Saturdays and it's all year long. So that's where I'm kind of feeling like, is it long term going to work with what I have going on? It also does cut out time. Like, if most of these things are on Saturdays, Fridays or Saturdays, that's when a lot of my out of town clients come to see me because they're able to drive 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours to come on a Saturday whenever they're already off. If I start taking away my weekends to go on location places, I wonder, because I feel really fulfilled doing a long distance girl's hair. Like, if somebody says they've driven 3 hours to come see me and no one does curly hair where they're from and they've never had a curly cut that they liked, that feels really powerful to me. And I love that feeling. And so I'm not sure. I'm like weighing my options here. I do just feel like doing special occasion styling hair is a dying art. I've noticed that also getting an updo is kind of a dying thing. Like, people aren't necessarily always getting an updo for their wedding. I totally get that a lot of people want to look like themselves, but I've been seeing on TikTok people doing slick back buttons for their weddings. We may be losing the plot, but hey, if it's what makes you feel comfortable, totally. I just feel like hair in general is getting really casual. And I think the blowout was kind of the start of the really casual. Like we used to curl our hair and now people really just kind of like blow it out. Guilty. I've just been noticing that ever since blowouts became like the norm and like the dressed up hairstyle, it's kind of made the rest of hairstyling kind of casual. Like brides used to put a braid in their hair. Like they're not really doing that anymore. But since we're kind of talking about changing niches, there are so many niches that I think are really interesting and I think could build off of the niche that you're already in and just help you have a little bit more diversity in your day and in your week and in your year and help you maybe not feel so burnt out. Special occasion styling is definitely one of them. It's honestly kind of a really fun way to just add something new that also is high value. I think that's huge whenever you're adding on more services is I don't really want to add on any services that are going to bring me less value. Can I say something? I feel like when I do color in the salon, I lose money. And I know that's on me. I know that's my fault. But when you are a hair cutting specialist and your haircuts reflect that, your haircut prices reflect that, and you're not a color specialist, like so your prices for color don't reflect that you're a specialist in that, I do end up losing money. Like I just do. When I'm thinking about adding services to my menu, I want to make sure that the value is there. So also with weddings and going on site, I want to make sure if I have to take off an entire Saturday to drive to wherever you're at and do your hair, there's got to be a minimum. Like you've got to think if your average, let's just say your average that you make on a Saturday is $600 and you're just going to do one thing at this wedding and it takes up your whole day. And so you're really only charging her like $200. Well, it was not worth it for that. So you might need to go, there is a minimum of $600. So if you're only going to do two people, like you might want to add a few people on so that way you can feel like it's worth it. If you don't have more people to add on, like that is still the minimum that I would need to get paid to then justify me leaving the salon like on a Saturday. Another thing that could build on, and I just saw another curly hairstylist actually share that she was getting this service done for herself, but it's obviously extensions. I looked into getting extension certified last year, 2 years ago. And I did take some online courses and I did take them. I did pay for some expensive online courses and then I did not ever end up doing it in the salon. I probably spent no less than $3,000 getting like online certified to do extensions and then never actually did it. Cricket sound. That is because doing curly hair, like I want to make sure that if I'm offering curly hair extensions, I'm offering it to every single curl type. And it is very hard to find virgin hair of every single curl type. Oftentimes, the people that are doing it and doing it well are buying it from the person. Like they're not even buying it from Russia. They're buying it from someone who grew a ponytail out on their head, cut it, and brought it to them. That's where they're getting it. They're making the bonds one by one by one. I personally am not going to be doing that. I was like, no, I can't. And it just wouldn't look right. It wouldn't be a part of my brand. My brand is very like me being ethical, me being like, come one, come all. And if all that I could do was what, like loose wavy and loose curly extensions, it would not be one, like come one, come all. And I would be sick to my stomach going to sleep at night thinking like, oh, I'm being unfair, not offering this to everyone. And it's not necessarily that it's me, it's that manufacturers aren't making it. And also because the curlier extensions are harder to get, they're more expensive. And so then like a body wave type of girl coming in getting her natural versus like a very curly girl, the very curly girl would be a lot more expensive because the hair would be more expensive. The wavy girl is going to be cheaper. And like once again, it's just like I don't want to contribute to that. But extensions would be a good one if you live in a city where that makes sense. Like a lot of these people live in New York and it looks incredible, where there is a lot of textures of hair and there are a lot of people and you can find the hair and do that. I think extensions would be amazing. Also, there is a market for permists, people who do perms. I have thought about wanting to do perms. Number one, a million people are in my TikTok DMs constantly asking me if I do perms, and I always have to say, nope, sorry, don't do them. But I think it would be nice money. Obviously, I don't just want to do like old lady perms, I want to do like young people perms. I want to do loose perms, but also it's like the one con would be it's generally, well, the one con, a bunch of cons. People need to be honest about what's on their hair. If they have bleach in their hair, if they have box color in their hair, if they have bleach covered up with box color in their hair, and they will lie to you because I've worked at salons where people do perms and they do lie and their hair falls out when you do a perm that's too strong for them because you thought they had virgin hair. And a lot of people need really strong perms for it to actually work. So, and signing a waiver obviously saying like if you're lying and your hair melts off, that's because it's your fault. I think one other negative would be that the target demographic is mostly men, and I obviously don't work with men, so we would see. I would see about being a permist, but if you've been thinking about that, then I think that you should. Also, I think it would be great for kind of correcting some people. So, like, some of my girls that are on the looser side of like wavy and curly and all that, they'll have like the underneath of their hair is like all straight and the top is all curly. And it's really hard to get them volume and balance their haircut when the second that you give them layers, they're straight, shows at the underneath. And I think literally just perming the underneath, like adding it as like a curl balancing appointment, like I think that that would be really fierce and you'd be like one of one. Like nobody else is doing that, but you know how to do it. I think that that would be incredible. Becoming like a thin hair specialist, I mean, I think you would somewhat need to become like a bit of a trichologist, but I think that if you marketed yourself to people who are thinning and you learned how to do like mesh integration, like toppers, extensions, if you learned how to do like, I don't know, if you were just able to tell people, like, I'm going to give you a layered haircut that's perfect for thin hair, like, you would be, and you could sell obviously like Nutrafol. You could tell them the best products and recommendations for them, like as far as shampoos, conditioners, topical treatments. I think that that would be really incredible, like a thin hair specialist. And I know that they make them colors that are perfect for people with thin hair. That leads me into toupee people. I think becoming a toupee hairstylist would be, oh my God, you'd make so much money. Like, if you're a hairstylist that also cuts men hair, especially scissor cuts men's hair, I feel like a lot of men love a scissor cut and that's why they go to a hairstylist. You know, you guys know the toupee queen. I'm sure you're all following her on Instagram and TikTok. If you're not, you should. But basically, they just shave the top, like the horseshoe on top, and then they glue down the toupee piece. There's a manufacturer who gets the toupee piece and she does one-on-ones. I'm sure they're expensive, but I'm sure that you would make that money back in no time doing these toupees. Why men are not getting toupees more, I have no idea. It is so normalized for women to be walking around with extensions in 24/7, like years. There will be women who have extensions in their entire 20s. Like, there are girls in high school with extensions in, like permanent extensions, sew ins that are not coming out. Like, these girls are spending thousands, and men act like spending 1,000 for the install and the hair and then reusing the hair for a year and just paying like $400 for the install every month is crazy. It's not crazy. Women are doing this and we've been doing this and teenagers are doing this. I think if you would be a toupee queen in your city, that would be an incredible way to switch up your niche. Along with hair thinning, hair health. To be a hair health specialist, I think would be incredible. Or what I'm kind of thinking is like kind of like a hair growing hairstylist. Like if you need a boot camp of how to grow your hair, I've got you. For any and all hair type from straight all the way to coily. I think this is huge and I've been thinking about doing this. Not thinking about doing this, but I kind of tell my clients every time they come in and they're like, I'm uncomfortable with the length of my hair. My hair never grows past this. I am on their asses getting their hair to the length that they want because I'm just like, you can have the length of hair that you're after. It's just the reason that your hair is breaking off because everyone's hair is growing every day. Unless you have alopecia, like your hair is growing every day. Whether it's maintaining length or not, that's on us. That's things that we're doing. And it's like, obviously, there are genetic reasons why someone's hair might not be thick. There are reasons why people's hair might be falling out that are medical and internal and all these things. But as far as helping people by asking a ton of questions, like I mean a shit ton of questions about what they're up to at home, that's what I'm into. That's what my clients are getting. I have literally narrowed it down with a client that I had for like quite some time. And then I was like noticing breakage in just like one area of her hair. And I'm like, this is so random. And you're not doing this, no, no, no. And then like it pops up that she's got a boyfriend. And I'm like, oh, he been staying the night a lot? And it's like, well, yeah. I'm like, are you guys like, I don't, it just like, I'm like, how are you sleeping? Like, is his arm like right underneath? I think that she would mention like something about like he was a hot sleeper, cuddling a lot or something. And I was like, oh my God, is he sleeping like with his, are you like using his arm as a pillow kind of? Like, is he always right up underneath here? Those are the questions I'm asking. Like, oh, we'll get him to quit doing that because that's breaking your hair. Like, that's added extra tension. Like, or your hair needs to be in a bonnet or it needs to be on a silk pillowcase instead of his arm. And I also had a client come in one day. Her hair was so tangled. I'm like, why is your hair like this? Like, and she comes and sees me not enough, like every 8 months or so. And I'm like, when did you wash your hair? She's like, literally this morning. I'm like, how did it get? And then, like, you went to work. How did it get so tangled everywhere? It was just unlike her. And I just keep asking questions. I'm like, well, what shampoo and what conditioner? And she's just kind of like being a little bit avoidant. But I'm like, we've got to get to the, because also her main goal every time is retain length, be long hair. And I'm like, we've got to figure out what this was. Like, I'm asking her every question under the sun. And eventually, just like, okay, I'll tell you something. I'm like, what? She was like, I got a boyfriend and he was over this morning and basically it was like bedroom business girls. Like it was like him holding her hair and like pulling her hair and shit like that. And I was like, that needs to never happen again. Like never happen again. If you want hair on your head. And this is what cracks me up about clients is I will tell them like this cannot happen if you want your hair to be longer and they'll just be like, "But I like this." And I'm like, "Okay, well do you want long hair?" Like, which one do you like more? Which one means the most to you? Keep doing whichever one means the most to you. But there is no in between. There is no, oh, well, what if he does a little bit? No, a tangle's a tangle. They're all over. Like, and same whenever I'm like, you can't sleep with your hair wet all the time. You can't wear your hair up in a bun every day and expect it to not break off. And they're just like, but I like wearing my hair up. But I get overwhelmed feeling it on my shoulders. But I need to be able to have it out of my face at work. And I'm like, okay, well then that's like, then do that. But like, don't come in here and complain that I'm having to cut off extra of your hair. Like, because that's why. I don't know. I can't. But that's kind of my thing. I've been loving helping people get to their length goals and I need to do better at like taking photos of people's like progression and marketing as that because all of niching is marketing. That's what niching down is marketing yourself and marketing your high ticket items to get people in your chair and to get them to spend more money. So I think sometimes we wonder like why do we even have to niche? And some people their niche is that they don't have a niche. I'm like, well, there's your marketing tool. Like your marketing tool is that you're an old school hairstylist that does any and everything that anyone asks you to do. That's your niche, like, because no one else is doing that. So, whatever you're doing and however you want to move, and if you are giving yourself permission to change your niche or to adapt yourself, know that it is a marketing tool and that the hope is that it markets you to your most profitable business and your most happiest business. I mean, that's part of it too. We do what makes us happy and what makes us feel fulfilled and what makes us want to go to work every day. And those things are driven by feelings and finances. So whatever that thing might be for you, I feel like those are just that was maybe like 5 different ways that you could niche, all being within doing if you do textured hair, all being within that. So you don't necessarily have to stop doing your curly cuts, doing your curly highlights, like all of these things. You just add on something else. I would love to know what any of you girls think about. Have you been wondering about switching up your niche? I feel like I've been doing curly hair exclusively for 3 years and I am still loving it. I'm still loving my business. I'm still loving my girls and everything. I just have an itch to add a couple things on to my service menu that just feel like something fresh and new and different. And so I think I may go the special occasion route and just start taking a little bit more content and posting about it and kind of marketing towards it. Let me know what you guys are thinking about. If you're thinking about changing or if this has inspired you to put some thought into your business and where you see your business going in the future. I seriously can't thank you enough for tuning in, listening to me talk. Talia is on her honeymoon right now. So that's a little update on where she's at. But we will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.